for so long. We've been waiting for this time to begin. We ain't getting any older. I kinda feel a little younger. Run away and embrace the day. The sun is out, won't go away. Feel the clouds on your shoulder. Touch the sky, feeling bolder. Going out, going out, going all the way. Going out, yeah, 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 yeah. Going out, going out, going all the way. Going out.
Give Saturday a really big hello.
Hello.
So Saturday here is one of our 7 resident seals that we have here at Sea Life, and we're going to talk a little bit about their family group. So all of the seals that we have here belong to the eared seal family. So of course the first thing to look out for is these lovely long and pointy ears on the side of Saturday's head. Good. Now these ears are long and thin, but they are the same as our own ears. They are just rolled up tightly so that she has a protective leeway when she's staying thanks to her long and pointy nose and her amazing fur coat. Now Saturday here actually has the second densest fur coat in the animal kingdom. But you guys might not be able to see, so I'm going to give her a bit of a fur do. Okay, looking good, Sat. Can everyone see that fur now? And then pop it on your head. Within that OK sign, you have about 700 hairs. But if I were to put this same OK sign onto Saturday's body, she has up to 600,000 hairs within that small space. So hopefully you guys can realise how dense that fur coat really is. So this is how Saturday and her other fur seal friends are going to be keeping warm in any colder temperatures. But of course here in Australia it's actually very warm most of the time. So she also needs a way to cool down. Now the only place on Saturday's body that isn't covered in that fur coat are her long front flippers, her back flippers and her lovely nose. So you might be able to see some seals out in the wild doing behaviour that looks like this. And this is something called sailing. So what she is doing is sticking those flippers and her pointy nose up into the air, and she's letting the cool breeze wash over us, as it will be cooling the blood inside of them, and then she's able to pump this blood around the rest of her body, and it will cool her whole overall body temperature. And it's a really cool adaptation called thermoregulation. Well done, Sat, good job. Now the final thing that we do need to talk about our lovely seals that we have here at Sea Life is that they all also belong to the pinniped family, and this means fin-footed. So I've already mentioned Sat's flippers, but we'll have a bit of a closer look. She has those 2 long front flippers and the smaller flippers at the back. Now her front flippers are what enable her to swim fast through the water, and then these back flippers that are really flexible, you can see I can move them around, they enable her to steer and stop. Good job. But a lot of people don't realise that seals are actually incredibly agile on the land, especially eared seals. So she can actually use those front flippers to hold her whole body weight up. Good. Yeah, you can give her a round of applause, that's pretty impressive. But she is also able to rotate her back flippers thanks to something called a rotating hip joint. So we're going to show that off, Sat. So Saturday is actually able to pick up her back flippers and tuck them underneath her body and walk on all fours, a little bit like a dog. And this means that she can walk, run and climb. So I'm going to send her up to a higher rock and have a little look at those back flippers moving underneath her body. This best friend, Moana. Now, Moana is also a female long-nosed fur seal, but she does look quite similar to Saturday. See you later, Sat. So hopefully if you have a good look, you might be able to see one difference between these two seals. Now, when Moana comes out, have a really good look at her face. A few of you might have noticed that Saturday is actually a one-eyed seal. Who here noticed that? A couple of people, but not too many of you. So Saturday and Moana are both rescued seals. They were both found on a beach with an injury to their eye. Now, unfortunately for Saturday, her eye wasn't able to be saved, but she came here to live with us at Sea Life. Now, Moana here, she was able to keep her lovely big shade sails. So while we are caring for our rescued seals, there is one thing that we are doing with them every single day to make sure that we are giving them the best care possible. And that is something called training. So we do training with these guys all throughout the day, not just for presentations. And we do this for a number of reasons. So the first reason that we do training with our seals is so that we can keep them physically fit. We can ask them lots of high energy behaviours to make sure that they're staying in good shape and that they are using their bodies and they're not being lazy slugs. So Moana, should we show off a few of those behaviours? So these guys are really intelligent animals, and most of our seals here at Sea Life actually know about 50 different behaviours. So it's really important to make sure we're always scratching that brain and make sure that they are thinking. Now, the final reason that we are doing training with these guys, and the most important reason, is so that we can do something every day called a post-injury health check. And this is where we can ask for a series of behaviours just to check that they're not injured or feeling unwell. So we can get up close and personal with our seals, thanks to all this training that we do with them. We can look inside of their mouths, check their teeth and gums, and we can ask for different body parts as well, such as their flippers, check that these are moving well. Good job. And we can also ask our seals to lie down and turn over so we can check all down their bodies. While Moana is in this position, I'm able to touch her tummy. I can give it a good push down, make sure that it feels good. And if any of our seals were ever to become pregnant, we could also do an ultrasound voluntarily. Our seals are so good at these behaviours that we can also take x-rays and blood samples voluntarily as well. Good job. Oh, she's so comfortable she doesn't want to get up. Well done, Moana. Now, all of this training is really impressive, but we often get asked how are we able to achieve this. So we use a technique called positive reinforcement, and this just means that we ask for different behaviours, and when the seals offer us these behaviours, we give them something that they love, and this, of course, is yummy fish. Now, while I am working with Moana, I'm constantly communicating with her. Who here thinks that she's listening to all of the words that I'm saying? A couple of people. Mo, do you want to wave at the audience? No. How about if I drop my hand down to my side? There we go. So what she is actually doing is paying really close attention to what I'm doing with my hands and with my body. And this is my way of communicating with her. It's almost like my own form of sign language, and they are things called cues. Now something that Moana is listening very carefully for is the word good or the sound of the whistle that you can see around my neck. So you saw just a moment ago that she was really comfortable in that layout position. I can get her to lay down flat, like this, and she will stay really still. I can feel all down her body until she hears the sound of this whistle. And then she will sit up and get this lovely fishy reward to say thank you and well done. So Moana, you have done amazingly today. We'll give you these last few pieces and then we can meet our final seal of the day. See you later, Mo. Okay guys, so the next seal that we are going to be meeting is the lovely April. She's a really impressive seal for all of you guys to meet because she is actually belonging to the rarest family of seals that you can find out there in the wild. So here she is now. So April here is our Australian sea lion. And like I said, this is the rarest species of seal that you guys can find anywhere in the world. So she is what we call an ambassador animal for her species. And she's here with me today to talk about a few of the threats that these guys are facing in the wild. Now, of course, in the wild, almost all animals will be facing their main predator. And April does an amazing impression of what her main predator actually is. Isn't she the cutest shark you've ever seen? So great white sharks and sometimes orca are the main predators of seals and sea lions out there in the wild. But luckily these guys are really well adapted to escape these predators. Of course sharks are fish, so these animals are simply able to jump up onto the land when we finish our fish and escape from those sharks. Well done, babes. If the seals are out in the open ocean and they need to use a different behaviour to get away from their predators, they could do something called porpoising or bowing. Now this is something that everybody knows dolphins do, but seals actually do it as well, and it looks like this. Now porpoising is a really impressive behaviour that these guys are able to do. So you can see that they are very well adapted to escape their natural predators. Unfortunately though, they do face another threat that does come from us, and it's something that we all need to do our best to try and combat. Now this of course is plastic pollution. It is a really big issue right now. It's predicted that by the year 2050, there will be more plastic in our ocean than fish. So of course we all need to do our best to try and make this issue a little bit better. Now luckily for April and her wild counterparts, there is one thing that we can all do, and that is simply to pick up our rubbish and take it to your nearest recycling bin. This does go for any litter that you find on the floor, because all litter does eventually make its way back into the ocean when it rains and storms, and it finds itself in our storm water drains. So April here is going to show you just how easy it is to do this one simple task. So I think if one of our seals here at Sea Life is able to recycle her rubbish, then so can all of you. It's a really easy step to take that will make such a massive difference to all of the marine wildlife that are struggling out there in our oceans. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed our presentation today and that you've learned a bit about our seals here at Sea Life and how you can help their friends in the wild. So from me and April, we'll see you later.